You would think hell froze over. But no, the Leafs did not win the cup. Yes, believe it or not, I am in the dreaded black armor jersey. You'll find out about its future in this episode of Pucknology After Dark with the full roster. Okay, minus Brody, but we can't have him on all the time. AJ Strong, Chris JWS, J Alexander 46, following a stunning 2-0 victory over the best team in the league. I mean,
close, but not quite.
Close, but I mean, one of the best teams in the league. So, with that being said, oh god, and I started hearing myself again. Remember, guys, turn off the YouTube page. If you want to connect with us, if you want to join in the conversation, that's how you do it. Hashtag Pucknology After Dark, where you can tweet us at the 5 Twitter accounts below. Asia_strong, Chris JWS, Puckguy14, Pucknology, or J Alexander 46. So, guys, hi! Going 4th win in 5 games. I'm getting excited. Are you? Gentry?
It's alright.
Wow. There's insight you won't get anywhere else, folks.
Yeah, but...
Okay, try to elaborate, Gentry.
I thought, you know what, it was a good, this game kind of shows, it's like, okay, where was this through all of February? Where was this effort, this defensive effort? Where was, Nemo making the timely saves? I mean, great game by, I'm not going to diminish the game. It was a great game. They showed up against one of the best, because right now it's like a complete tie between the Rangers, Anaheim, and it is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 six-way tie with 91 points for the best in the league.
Clearly, this defensive effort was having brunch at Santana Row, and they just had to go get it.
With mimosas.
Rally mimosas?
Absolutely. AJ, good evening to you.
Hello! What it is, what it was, and what it shall be.
Chris.
What's going on? I mean, you want a hot take? I'll be the one to say it. I don't think they played a very good game tonight. I honestly think they got outplayed for the most part, and the Emmy stole that game. I'll go with the Mr. Pessimism take here. I guess I have to. I shaved my beard, so I'm suddenly a different person. But they were outshot all game long. They were outchanced all game long, and the Emmy was the difference. And honestly, it was the same with the Penguins game. You can give 1 or 2 of these, but at some point, they're not going to keep winning this way. At some point, those numbers are going to catch up with them. When they keep getting outplayed, they're not going to always have the Emmy there. What did we say this game and last game? The Emmy was huge, and that's what worries me. It's good to see them winning again, but I think it's not going to be sustainable unless they can start controlling the puck more often. So there's your hot sports take. I'll be the controversial one. AJ, go.
No, I gotta kind of disagree with you a little bit. I actually thought the Sharks came out well. The first period, they controlled most of it, and then as you saw, Nashville started turning it on and thought, oh yeah, we're playing a hockey game. That's what we got to do. And then Nashville had their push. The second, I think it was kind of the same. It was a little bit of back and forth. Who kind of wanted it more. The one thing, though, I do think Chris does have a really good point about is the fact that you take into account the power play situations tonight. The Sharks got the benefit of a lot of calls, and what Mr. Statistician, what they do tonight? 2 for 4. 2 for 5?
Technically, they went 2 for 5. I mean, one of those was an empty netter. So
yeah,
let's call it 1 for 4. Like it's probably 1 for 4.
Okay, so 1 for 4, and but the bigger thing being is that the couple chances that Nashville did get, they were able to kill it off. So at least the PK looks better. Could they have played a better game? Did they play better against Pittsburgh? Yeah, I thought so. But I still thought they played a pretty good game tonight. But as you said, Nemo was the difference maker tonight. And, how rare has it been that we've actually been able to say those words? But Nemo was the difference tonight. The guy has apparently found a new gear now that the trade deadline has passed, and he's still with us. But I do remember a couple specific things. One of the things was during one of the later penalty kills, watching Ben Smith at first, the first half of that penalty kill, and I'm like, man, this guy is a really good penalty killer. I mean, he's constantly moving his feet. He's constantly trying to close. And then he brain farts on the half boards when he had a prime opportunity to get it out, and he actually pushes it lower. I was like, God, just as I'm liking you, what the hell are you doing? You're pulling a Hannon over here. Knock it off. But, your favorite, Chris's favorite saying, it is what it is, and so...
small sample size.
Small sample size. It's never what it's not, so it is what it is. But, I mean, they played good enough to win, and, hey, another goal waved off. So, typical Sharks hockey for you right there.
God. Oh, God.
Real quick.
Don't get me fucking started with that.
When I was being Mr. Negative for a second there, like, I'm not going to say I thought they got outplayed the entire game. So I felt like the first 10 minutes they were really good. Then there was a 20 to 30 minute stretch there where they got outshot 13-1, which was just between the first and second period. Then they got that power play goal, and it seemed to definitely give them a lift, and that's when they started controlling a bit more. Towards the end, Nashville started controlling. So I don't think they played a terrible game, but I still think Niemi was the difference, and they need to play better in front of Niemi because I don't think they're, it's tempting fate. You can hit on a 16 in blackjack, and you might get lucky twice, but you don't want to keep doing that shit because that's probably going to catch up to you at some point.
But why is it this is the Niemi that we see so rarely? I mean, we've seen two consecutive great starts. Where has this been the previous 4 years that he's been with the club? Like,
he's had his moments. Like, I mean, he had his Vezina caliber year like 2 years ago. He did have that whole year. He was pretty damn solid.
It just feels like this season, this is the first time that we've seen some consistency from him. We've seen a few of those games where he has a game like he had tonight, and then a game later, it's like a completely different goaltender.
I beg to differ on that, though.
Derek, you ignorant slut.
You sloppy whore. The problem is that Nemo has been inconsistent because, let alone it being, defensive problems, tire fire 2015. The catch being is that there were 2 winnable games for them in Detroit and Ottawa that are LA that are looming huge right now. And yes,
it's always a case of every goalie has to deal with what have you done for me lately. And right now, Niemi's doing a lot lately.
Right, and that's great and all, but like Gentry said, where was this in February? I mean, you can't just be all worried about the trade deadline. You have to go out and play your game, especially in a contract year, because what is that going to tell prospective suitors come July 1st? It's going to say, oh, now you show up? Now this is all going to happen? Now we're scramble to get on your A game when it matters the most. Okay, that's great and all, but where was that all season, all consistency in the 5 seasons you've been here in San Jose.
No, I agree.
Like I said, he was really consistent in 2012-13. I think it was. That was the year he basically got screwed out of the Vezina, like not even finalists.
Yeah.
I think he's had it. I think he's had his great moments. It's just like like this year has definitely been a down year, but this is the worst defense he's ever had in front of him too. And I think it's still been a bad defense even tonight and the other night. The difference though is sometimes you're in Superman mode and you're stopping everything.
Right, Gentry, you were saying something. Sorry.
No, I was just, bad defense. Yeah, I will say that he has had some horrible defense, mostly in the form or the shape of Scott Hannon. But great goaltenders tend to find a way. You can't blame it all on defense. I mean, if you're letting in a weak shot from, let's bring back the infamous Gabrick goal from the Stadium Series. He saw that all the way and he let it go by him. He did the Daria try where it was nah. But finally But then you had those games after the Stadium Series, which that could have been totally winnable against Detroit, against Ottawa, and he blew those games. And let's not forget, he blew that game against Vancouver, which would have been huge. That would have put us in a better spot today with this win, had people have shown up. But however, yay, we got a win. We're now 2 points behind, Winnipeg. So but the question is, where was this? What do we need to bring him more on? Have him more on a brunch? Is that happening? Do they need to do that before every game? Because so far it's working. So.
And with you bringing up the standings, we'll put up the standings right now. That's what it looks like at the moment. You have 3 teams now tied at 91 points apiece. St. Louis, Nashville, and Anaheim. Obviously, they're close to clinching playoff spots. But now it's getting really tight with Vancouver at 80, Calgary at 79. With LA's win tonight, they leapfrog the Jets to 79, and for the moment hold the second wild card spot. Winnipeg drops down into third at 78 with 14 games left. The Sharks are now at 76 with 14 games left. So the 4 teams that the Sharks are chasing right now have a game in hand and have at least 3 points.
They needed that win at Vancouver with Vancouver here the other night. They really needed that one. People give me crap for my doom and gloom after that game. It's still lingering. Honestly, it's still lingering. That's still a problem.
No, well, yeah. I mean, you look at the Vancouver game, then Detroit and Ottawa, and then we'll throw in the Stadium Series game. That's 4 wins. That's at least 8 points that you would have, and I'll put it up again. 8 points is looming large. All of a sudden, you're fighting Anaheim for first in the Pacific at 84. So that's a huge, a display of change in not getting your job done early on. You can't just, sit around and do crap. You just have to bring it every game.
And I know we've gone back and forth on why did it take after the trade deadline. I mean, it might be partially coincidence. I think before the trade deadline, I don't think they were playing horribly. I think, we remember a lot of those games right before the trade deadline. It was play really good in the first, play so give or take in the second, and then collapse in the third. While that's bad because the outcome is bad, it wasn't like they were just getting dominated through and through. They were doing some things correctly. I think maybe I don't know if the trade deadline might just be a coincidence. It might also just be that maybe that burden was lifted off of who's going, who's not. Because I think the way management's been all year since the summer with their whole we're not going to name a captain. We're not going to, just being so indecisive with direction. maybe everyone was just on their toes, and the trade deadline was one more thing. On top of all that, the trade deadline is one more thing where they're like, what's going to happen to me? Am I going to be here? Maybe that was just one more distraction that helped. I don't know. It's kind of up there for debate. I don't know. What do you think, AJ?
I don't know. At this point, I really don't know. We've talked about this so many times. It's mind-numbing at this point. The one thing, speaking of when you're talking about management and whatnot, one of the things that was brought up today is apparently Pollock, one of the beat writers for the Sharks, was at a Q&A session today that was held with Doug Wilson and about 350 season ticket holders all there to ask their questions or whatnot. And so we'll give Pollock a little plug. Apparently that article is supposed to be up either later tonight or tomorrow morning on the Mercury News website. I'm real interested to hear about what happened with that. I heard that it did get a little heated a few times and people were calling him out, but honestly, this is going to be a lot of fun to look back on in about 5 or 6 years, where Wilson laid out his plan. This has ended up being a pretty forgettable season, and in 4 to 5 years or 5 to 6 years, whatever it is, then it's a case of if they somehow win a cup, and we'll see all the changes that happen, whether it's Marleau and Thornton getting traded for some big value or them just staying here for the next 2 seasons and playing out their deals, and either way, whether they get value for them or not. But seeing how this team is going to change with what they have now to what they'll be in the next couple of years with this whole 2 steps or 1 step back to take 2 steps forward. We all know McClellan only has 1 more year left on his deal. This is going to be the season to forget, unless, and if the next 5 years they somehow manage to win the cup or at the very least get to the finals, then people are going to start pointing back at this season saying that was the pivotal year.
So real quick, that article is posted. Eric Landy just tweeted at me. I have retweeted it. So if you want to see that article, check out my Twitter feed. I'm sure these guys have retweeted it as well.
Yeah, I mean, basically, to go over it really quickly, he was asked about why Thornton was removed as the captaincy, and to quote Doug Wilson, he cares about the game so much. The reason we took the C off of him, Joe carries the weight of the team on his shoulders, and he's got such a big heart that when stress comes on him, he lashes out at people, Wilson said, and it kind of impacts them. He went on to say, the pressure and stress I felt was getting to Joe, and I sat him down and said we need other players to step up and share this. He got it. He didn't like it, but he got it and he understood it. Okay, so
guys, wait a minute. I thought Joe Thornton doesn't care at all. He's just always so he doesn't care, right?
Laid back and has the ain't care mode. Taking this.
That's me being sarcastic, by the way.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jen.
I mean, if you're gonna do that, I remember the change of the hierarchy. This is where we need to change the culture of the team, and I don't think it's changed all that much. It's still the same, the same characters, the usual suspects showing up and not showing up. I honestly think that if there's one good thing that you can say about this season, the one good thing is, we've given the young players and prospects more playing time, yes, inconsistently, yeah. But you've got to. I hope that if this is going to be, I really wish that this is going to be the start of the era of Chris Turney, because good God, he has been the bright side to this past couple of games since the trade deadline. He has been outstanding. He has taken the ball, or puck at this point, and he's been effective. I mean, once Desjardins kind of got pushed away to the wayside, and as with Shepard, it was, all right, who's going to step up? And Tierney's like, I got this. So give him credit on that one. So
I think I was the one who said months ago I didn't understand why we sent Tierney back, because I was like, I really liked him at the time. Like, I think he can be Andrew Desjardins and more. I just hope we don't give him the same treatment of like latching him with some really bad teammates. Like, okay, go out there and go, and then hold his lack of stats against him because he's been skating with John Scott and Mike Brown.
And that's a good thing, is that you have him on the third line where you have him on with scoring wingers, Hurdle and Wingles, which, by the way, Wingles as a winger.
Let it go, man. Let it go.
Well, I'm just saying, we traded Shep because we were going to have Hurdle as our third line center.
Well, speaking of latching him on to semi-good players or whatnot, or call-ups, whatever you want to talk about, are we going to? Do you think we'll hear about the name of the AHL team before St. Patrick's Day at this point, since everybody else has announced their names and colors and everything? And you know what? The Stockton Heat, I like their logo. I think it's it's a nice takeoff. I think it works well for them as the Calgary affiliate. I mean, it makes it pretty clear. But
I thought the name was kind of boring.
I really.
The Infernos. I thought the Infernos was a better name.
I thought Inferno would have been Stockton Inferno. I think would have been really cool, but it's what? It's Stockton. At least they didn't get called the Armpit. You know what I mean?
That's true. But if they don't come out to the Heat is on, I'm going to be so irritated.
Oh yeah, be like the Miami Heat, dude. Come on.
For those who haven't seen it yet, that is the logo of the Stockton Heat, which someone has described on Aesthetics as, why do they have a roundel with an S underneath a burning dog poo?
I don't get it. I
hate that. I would probably hate that if I was a fan of theirs.
If anything, you know what it almost looks like to me? It's not awful. I mean, we've seen awful. That's not bad. The thing for me is that it almost comes off as if you just look at the S and the little kind of flame thing in the middle of it, it almost comes off as a logo for like a Sportsnet channel or a website.
You got it right on the head. It kind of looks like that player icon that the Canadian network Sportsnet had. I absolutely hate this logo. And as the logo guru, designer guru on there, I'm pitching out to the Stockton Heat, make that an alternate, and I'll make you a better one for you.
You can make it like a brown bag that's got a little bit of brown darker brown coming out of it, and with the flame on.
It says Heat.
I'm sorry.
I mean, shoot, when they had their minor league team in Abbotsford, and they were named the Heat, it was a hell of a better logo.
Well, are we all pretty much resigned to the fact that it's going to be the San Jose Barracudas as the name for the AHL team? Are we all resigned to that?
No, because
are we?
Brody keeps mentioning seals.
Yeah, but you know what? You know what? There's not a Twitter account parked somewhere. No, at San Jose Seals or at SJ Seals. There's not a Twitter account parked with that. You know what? There is a Twitter account parked that's doing nothing right now. That's totally locked down and private. At SJ Barracudas.
Barracuda. They have to skate out to Hart. They pretty much have to, right?
Right.
You skate up to Hart, and you clearly do some sort of cross-promotion thing with Barracuda Networks. I mean, it's pretty obvious. But, I pointed this out last time where I just don't understand how 25 years ago when the internet is in its infancy, you don't have Twitter, you don't have Facebook, you don't essentially have ways to take polls via the web. And now it's a case of you have all this technology where you can have it on the on the Sharks website. You can have it where you hashtag name the team. They could have had a thing for 2 weeks, drummed up some hype, and then nailed it down to the 5 most popular, and then had a vote for a week or whatever, but have fan involvement. And it would have been interesting to see what some of the names would have been. So it's kind of disappointing that they didn't throw it out there to the fans, but as
Hashtag
we've seen,
face of AHL and spam everyone's timeline.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, the San Jose Posies.
By the way, if you retweet that or do that shit ever, I unfollow you. FYI.
The San Jose Busters. I'm sure that would have went over right. But yeah, I'm just, Barracuda. I just think about Barracudas, and in my mind, I'm going, well, it could have been worse.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your San Jose Barracudas.
We all saw those coming, right?
See, this just makes you ready to hear Drew Remenda on with Tom Tolbert. Like, that's all this makes me think of.
Yeah, I know.
I'm sorry, but and you know what's going to happen, guys? They're going to have, because it's apparently very abnormal and very lazy, is to adopt your parent club's uniform design. So guys, you know what they're going to skate out to. They're going to skate out to black armor in their Barracuda uniforms, and then reverse the black and white.
Oh dear Lord, that would suck. But I think if we actually had a vote, if they actually had put it up to the fans, I don't think there's any way that Chris and I would not have voted for anything other than the San Jose crispy churros with the zeros. I think that's what you should have went with.
It's a little
bit yeah.
Let's try it. Let's go crispy churros with the zeros.
Let's go crispy churros with the zeros.
Still too many syllables.
I still say go.
We have this problem in San Jose with our chants and too many syllables.
No shit.
Let's go, or actually no, that's too few syllables. But let's go, Sharks.
Yeah, that's so how they've never started it with just doing San Jose. If they want to do the 3 things, just do San Jose. Let's go Sharks. But that dun 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 dun. Let's go Sharks.
No one wants to ever go to San Jose except to design a freaking microchip, AJ. San Francisco is so much better because it's San Francisco.
At least the AHL team is not going to be called the San Jose Terabytes.
Oh God! I just would have never gone out of protest.
Welcome to the San Jose, Terabytes. And the terabytes are on the power play, brought to you by Ethernet. Or Google Fiber.
Oh, you know what, though? That's a great segue, Gentry. How about those the couple early power plays tonight for the Sharks? I tweeted out, because that's what it felt like. Do they think the PP in power play stands for practice passing?
Yes.
I mean, there was an incredible amount of overpassing, especially on the second power play, where I'm just going, the fuck are you guys doing? You keep going east-west, east-west. It's north-south.
And go ahead. Sorry, Jen.
I've started coining it the power nap because it just seems like, oh, we're on the power nap? All right, I could just kind of doze off for a couple minutes because, they don't put the pucks to the net, and it gets frustrating because it's like, where's the net front presence? Why aren't you guys it's always like they shoot it wide and then it rims around and then it gets cleared. And then it's like, all right. And then we have problems with the zone entry on the power play. It's like, come on. It's always the same zone entry every single time.
In the chat window, Richard Duvall said, hashtag 20 AHL team names in 20 days.
Oh God. But
See, that first power play actually did look a little bit dangerous. Yeah, I mean, the main problem is like the good chance they had didn't really click. Like that Logan Couture shot went wide. I remember there's another shot that kind of they didn't get on net, but the second and third one are pretty abysmal.
right,
But
and it wasn't until that one where Hurdle got his goal, and we'll talk about the Hurdle goal that should have been called a goal or a penalty a little bit later. But you know what? They had the first things first. The second power play unit came out first. I think that might have been, partially in punishment for the top unit not doing crap on the power
well,
play.
the most of the top unit was out on the ice when the penalty was drawn. And towards the
Sure.
end of the
Yeah.
shift. I did check. I checked it on my DVR because like, is that a punishment? I looked actually like right before Pavelski, Thornton, and Burns were all out there. Like when the penalty was drawn, and they'd all been out there a good 30 seconds. So I think
Okay.
that was that. Yeah, I did actually check because I was curious.
Because, I mean, it just seemed all of a sudden that the second line got their crap together and clicked because they won the draw. Braun gets the puck he shoots it on goal, loose puck, Hurdle in front of the net, picks up the loose rebound and scores. It's like, oh my God, they actually know how to power play now. It's amazing.
Well, good things happen when you put the pucks to the net. I've come to that conclusion. I guess
Wow. How long did that take?
Pucks on that. Move your feet. See, bald guy here. I'm not Jermenda, but I bring the same wisdom.
Head on a swivel.
I think it's an ancient secret that the Sharks have yet to figure out. They're almost there. If you put pucks to the net, it creates chances. And maybe with some puck luck and some good bounces, you can get that dirty goal. And that's what you kind of need right now at this point in the season is that there's no more pretty plays. There's no more pretty passing. Everybody's hunkering down defensively because it's nearing playoffs, so everybody's getting geared up for that style of hockey. And honestly, even if, let's say the Sharks do make it to the playoffs, I don't think they're built to kind of play that gritty game other than Tierney and maybe Carlson. Because they don't go to the net. Like, most of the top unit doesn't go to the net, whereas Carlson will, go head first if need be, and so will Hurdle. But that's
a great point because it seems to be that when the young guys come in, they're all about crashing the net. And then, because Couture used to get in front of the net a lot more when he was younger. And, I mean, you can go back and look at the tapes. A lot of the guys, when they were younger, they would crash the net, and then they see guys like Marlowe and Thornton not doing that, and they're kind of like, oh, what the hell am I paying the price for if the big money guys don't want to pay it? On the chat room, a takeoff for Eric's suggestion, instead of terabytes, terror bytes. Okay, that could be, yeah, I don't know, yeah, you throw it out there, you see what the fuck happens.
shark bites.
Yeah. Shit, I had one. Oh, we would be remiss if we didn't address the huge elephant in the room after, towards the end of tonight's game. Did anybody else see it coming? Could you have predicted the way Niemi blew up Baker at the end of the game and said, talk to the hand, I don't need no interview right now?
It was very interesting how that quickly. Apparently, it was an equipment issue.
It was still
Brody.
fun.
He did come out though, and he did talk, but he kind of seemed a little short with bakes on it. So I don't know.
Maybe he was just so fired up and pissed off that so much piss and vinegar that he just didn't have any time for that shit. Like, who am I gonna shut up next, bitches?
That's right. Well, you saw
Definitely
the tweet
not
that I
Vancouver.
posted, right? I tweeted out that picture of him, drinking a water bottle. It's like, oh, Baker wants to interview me, but
That's not my business.
That's none of my business, though.
Mm-hmm. Oh boy.
Get some of that Lipton, that bomb ass tea.
that bomb ass tea.
Let's talk about the other elephant in the room, and the slowly starting to be, let's make everything a little more obvious that we hate the Sharks. and about the no goal, no penalty call. Apparently, Thomas Hurdle interfered with the goaltender and decided to faceplant himself to the crossbar.
Yeah, didn't you know?
I don't understand.
Yeah, what a jerk! Like, who does that to the crossbar?
I know,
God,
right?
man.
If
What
they
did the poor
didn't-
crossbar do?
to Hurdle. No, I don't. You know, if they want to say that it's not a goal, and you look at the replay, give me a fucking break. It was a goal, and that was the first thing I did was I thought about it, I'm going, if the teams were reversed, if this was Nashville coming in on the end, and I'm going, yeah, I'd have to give that and say that's a goal because at the very least, how the fuck do you not call that a goal, but also not call cross-checking the way Hurdle got just bumped into the I mean, just give me a fucking break. If you're not going to call the goal, fine. At least you call the cross-check. Maybe that's one of the reasons why San Jose got 4 power plays before Nashville got 1. You know, maybe they were trying to make amends for blowing that ridiculous call, but whatever.
Yeah,
Then again, that's Toronto's prerogative. I mean, it just seems like it. If it's like it could clearly go over the line, it could do. You know, it could pretty much hit the net, but then they'll find some way of saying, no. That
I'm
wasn't
starting
a
to
goal.
think that they need to relocate the NHL office to somewhere other than Toronto because, as Toronto has clearly proven, they don't know how to play hockey there. So maybe they need to put it somewhere else, like in Montreal or something.
There you go.
No.
If I'm being completely objective here,
Oh, God.
as I say this with this face, okay, I'll take it off. But if I'm being completely
Fuck
objective
you! Do
here,
not take that face off. Leave it on.
okay. Well, here's what I say though. Okay, I think most teams make that goal. I think most teams have it overturned too. It's because there's contact with the goaltender, whether it's Hurdle's fault or not. It seems like in replays they never account for player being pushed into the goaltender. I've seen this with other teams too. When the player is pushing the goaltender, all they see is, well, he got into the goaltender. Doesn't matter how he
That's
got pushed.
fine
Or
with
like,
me.
I'm saying I think if I'm being objective here, I think that call probably gets made against most teams. I was pissed at it too, but I don't think it was a Sharks thing. I think it was just a, why doesn't Toronto have the ability to actually,
Hold their heads out of their
maybe it's not allowed in the rules for them to account for that. Like, it seems like, because technically it'd be like if in a perfect world, if they review that, it's like, okay, well, it's a no goal, but now the Sharks are on the power play because that was a clear penalty or something like that.
That's the key issue here. Why is it that then, if that's the case, why didn't you call a penalty for cross-checking?
This is what I'm saying.
I mean,
Yep.
You're basically saying, so it's no goal, which I can get, that's understandable and all, but you're basically saying you
can
interfere with the goaltender, and like Kyle, where was it? I forget. Sports Fanatic 22 said, or no, it was Mike Perry 159. Okay, so cross-checking a player into the net will negate goals. Good to know. So, guys, if that's the case, all we need to do is, if somebody's going to crash our net, we just cross-check a guy. And when they allow the goal, we go, oh, hell no.
Oh, how
Oh,
quaint.
hell's not.
Actually, how shallow and pedantic, if you will. I mean,
This is
Oh,
what Brody
dear
has
God.
done to the show. He's made us
Brody,
really.
you've ruined us.
I'm going to say this. You guys can be like Brody. You can try to look like Brody, but you guys are never Mr. Dice Roll, Brody Brazil.
Oh,
Thank you. I'll be here all week. Don't forget to tip your waitresses and enjoy the teal. Money. Okay, let's.
okay, enough of the soundboard.
We need to break it. Oh, Jesus.
we
And with
ruined
that-
the show.
And with that, we'll break in the breaking news about the jersey I'm wearing. And that's actually an appropriate sound effect to use. So what we know is aesthetics.co is very accurate in getting info about all of their updates for logos and jerseys and such. And they just came out with their Jersey Watch this week. Um, and what it shows for the Sharks is that they will have a 25th anniversary logo, which we already knew about. We're trying to figure out where it'll go on the jerseys. However, upon speaking to him further this evening, it looks like the Sharks will have Black Armor return in 2015-16.
Who said that?
Aesthetics.co, which has been
Oh.
extremely accurate. That being said, to quote him, no mention from Reebok that the black jersey is going away, but given how many teams have taken to wearing a fourth or a throwback jersey in recent years, don't count out for the Sharks to have a 25th anniversary jersey.
Fuck.
Meaning, you could see what LA, Arizona, and Calgary have done this year is bring back or for Anaheim last year, is bring back a jersey for 1 to 3 games, which is kind of similar to what we've been doing with the Stadium Series jersey, which you'll see on Saturday. Is to bring that out for just a handful of games, and that'll be it. But apparently Black Armor will return next season. Guys, your thoughts?
Fuck you. I mean, not you in particular. Fuck the Sharks. I mean, oh my fucking God. Have we not had enough of this shit already? You know what? I bet you just to chap my fucking ass, they're going to roll out they're going to do inaugural jerseys for next year. And you know what? I bet you they're going to fucking be black. Just to piss me off.
Hold that thought.
See, you realize that John Turturro has been watching every podcast. It's like, what can I do to piss AJ the fuck off?
This is all I'm saying, man.
Because he signs the checks.
Oh my God. The thoughts on the Black Armor was that I liked them when they first came out, and I was a heavier set gentry because black was always a slimming color, and I was afraid of wearing teal. But I've embraced the teal a little bit more. Why can't, like, we've already updated the new home jerseys? Why can't we update and get a better alternate jersey? Is beyond me. Oh, here we go.
See, this is where I say that I actually don't mind the Black Armor jerseys. I'll be the contrarian here once again.
Oh.
I have a couple of them, and I like them all right. But here's the thing, though. People pick over jerseys a hell of a lot more than I do. Honestly, I'm mostly worried about the product on the ice. Just saying.
It's bad enough that it already is a ripoff of the Vancouver home jerseys with the exact same strapping on the arms. To quote my girlfriend, she says, it looks like they took a practice jersey, slapped some patches on the shoulders, and put hockey tape on the arms.
No. That's the new teal one.
Oh, are we rocking them? Is that what we're doing now? Is that
you rocked yours out, huh? Yes.
Now, what do you got on the back of yours?
I have nothing on mine.
Rock out with your shark out.
Rock out with my shark out?
How dare you, sir?
Joe Thornton, did you score 4 goals tonight?
Hold on. Let me get on this.
So basically, there you go. I mean, as you can, well, I shouldn't be talking, but AJ showing the jersey off. That was originally a proposed alternate jersey when breaking out an alternate jersey for black. Unfortunately, what happened after that was Nike was going to take over for the uniform for the Sharks, and the Sharks wanted something a little more unique, more modern at the time. So therefore, they broke out what we saw as their alternate jersey. And originally it was supposed to have a zipper neck, but that got KO'd due to a safety
The
issue.
guys knowing what happens when zippers hit their skin the wrong way.
We got a bleeder. So,
more high school cat days.
what the heck?
You said we got a bleeder.
Oh my God! Jeez.
Damn.
Let's take it to the tweets. You've been sending us comments, questions, all that good stuff. Either on our things.
One of my followers, or one of the followers of the show, I can't claim all of them as my followers, even though I love you all. Let's see. Hansa is there's already a Calgary Inferno. It's the WCH, or
The
CWH.
Canadian, yeah, it's the Canadian, or not the Canadian, but it's the Women's Hockey League that Hillary Knight was just in won the championship with.
Yeah, but what does that mean? I mean, it's not as if they've, sports teams haven't used the same name. New York Giants, San Francisco Giants, blah, blah, blah.
True. I mean, I think it's just you don't use the Inferno because it could be conflicting with in Calgary. Well, which Inferno are you talking about? Is it the Inferno women's team or our minor league team?
Well, okay, that I'll give you.
This is where I make a sexist comment because I know Hansa.
Oh boy.
Yeah, no, she would have.
Oh, that's gonna go over real fucking well, bro. Go ahead.
Opinions expressed by Chris JWS do not necessarily represent Pucknology, the San Jose Sharks, or Brody Brazil. All right, go ahead, Chris. We got the disclaimer out of the way. Go ahead.
No.
I'm
not Damon Bruce. I'm not gonna go tell women to get out of my sandbox or nothing.
I'm sitting here undercover on that one, man. You keep that shit to yourself, bro. I'm just saying.
Oh,
but
no, I kid.
With regards to the AHL team, about bringing what the name of the team, I tweeted out earlier. So wouldn't it just be a real fucking kick in the pants if they decided to name the AHL team the San Jose Athletics? It would just totally nip all that shit in the bud real fucking fast. It would be hysterical.
True, but the thing is that...
Wait a minute. I don't have the ability because I can't see it full screen. Hey, Gen X, can you do me a favor and screenshot me with this dude that I've got going on? Because I think it's fucking hysterical.
Oh, God.
I got it. In case you didn't get it.
And Eric is finally joining into the fray.
Yes.
Hey, I didn't know you liked Vancouver.
Oh, nice
like that?
Wow, did you hear that? Oh, man.
Wow, very well done.
Or, or we could be an LA Queen.
Oh, hello. Hey, Chris. Just to let you know, Hannah is in the chat, and she said, and her words are, Chris, comma, all caps, I will end you. So just let you know.
Yeah, no, that's why I said I could make a comment, but I won't because I don't mess with Hannah. No.
Yeah, you know what? Hannah wanted Chris to say something. Chris was all.
Yeah, no. I don't pick that. I don't pick that fight. Like I said, my sandbox is all inclusive.
Oh man, we're just diving right in, aren't we? You know what? Hold on.
Oh,
excuse me. That's none of my business. I'm gonna have to reload here.
I need something stronger than T for this bullshit.
Yeah. T isn't strong enough for this shit.
What? Fine. Let's see. I'm looking at everything else. King Shark 49. Overall good effort by the Sharks in the game that they had to have. We need to almost win out to make the postseason. Yuki Sano, who pretty much live tweeted the morning after watching the show with Brody, I've already made a vow to never go to Stockton, so at least I'm never going to see that logo in person.
Oh, that's not right. You at least gotta try. When there's a San Jose game at Stockton, make the trip. Support
Yeah,
the
that's
team.
true. That's
I'll
true.
do
Yuki again, and this is to Chris. Crossbars have feelings too at Chris JWS.
No, they don't.
I believe that was right after where I said, what did that poor crossbar do to deserve Hurdle assaulting him? I forget what I said.
Well,
Something
maybe Hurdle was firing too many shots at the crossbar and kept hitting it. So you never know. I mean, all I know is that the crossbar just tends to screw us over in most cases.
Eric Landy says the Stockton Heat logo looks like a baseball logo.
He's not far off. It kind of maybe that's what I was thinking instead of
in other words, shitty.
We also have a Kings fan checking in, Sporting Agenda.
She's awesome.
You know her?
Well, I mean, I've seen her on Twitter a few times, and yeah, she's got some good takes, and it's always nice to actually meet a SoCal fan who isn't a moron. And no disrespect to all LA fans, but I've met a few, and they don't have a whole lot going up upstairs. I don't know if it's too much suntan lotion or something, but a few of them are they're a little goofy. But not Sporting Agenda.
Sporting Agenda, she had a good comment. Yeah, I've noticed that the Sharks seem to get more goals disallowed on BS interference call than other teams. It's weird.
So we have a Kings fan pointing that out.
Hold on, yes. What was that? Hold on, run that back.
They said, yeah, I've noticed that the Sharks seem to get more goals disallowed on BS interference calls than other teams. It's weird.
If a Kings fan is pointing that out,
right?
If a Kings fan is pointing that out, you know there's a problem, NHL. Hey, Toronto, come on.
Relocate that fucking office to San Francisco, dude.
Right.
I'm fine.
Wishful thinking there. Eric Landy also says, please, God, no barracudas. Please, seals or hammerheads or makos, Sharks Bay Area related. Brody mentioned that whatever it will be, it's going to be fish or water related of some sort.
Hammerheads, come on, make it a thing. Write your local congressman, San Jose representative. What would you rather have it, hammerheads or barracudas? Which one sounds a little bit more? And also,
I don't care.
I just don't want to represent. I don't want a jersey that says barracudas on it.
I think. Go ahead. Sorry.
I don't know. I was just about to finish my.
But the corporate tie-in would be insanely good. Just saying.
Well, it's called the San Jose Brocades then.
Yeah.
Or it could be the San Jose Steve Moskowitz.
Oh, why don't we just call them the San Jose Apples? Because they're in Cupertino. Might as well. And then everything will be I-related.
No. There we go. There we go, guys. That's it. The San Jose I-Team.
Ladies and gentlemen, the I-Team is on the I-Power Play. This I-Power Play brought to you by iTunes.
What's
all the officials are wearing Apple Watches.
Because they're so useful.
Hey, let's take it to Toronto.
All right. Let's get this thing wrapped up here. So the Sharks win 2-0. We will post the graphic again for the standings because it's better to look at than me. All right. So that's what we're looking at right now, folks. The Sharks are 3 points out of not only the second wild card, but the third place in the Pacific, and 4 points out of the number 2 spot that they had in the prior to the Stadium Series, the second spot where Vancouver is at. You have everybody that you're chasing has a game in hand on you, and if somebody can look it up with me, the schedule for Friday has... Oh boy. Somebody tweeted something.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. It's just that Yuki said, quote, "It's nice to meet a SoCal fan that isn't a moron. Hashtag words to live by." And then Sporting Agenda said, thanks. Tries to be fair to all teams, which not enough fans try to do. But go ahead, Eric. I'm sorry to interrupt.
That's okay. The games to watch tomorrow night are, you have Ottawa and the Islanders. Okay, big whip. Dallas at Washington, of course. Go Caps to try to finish off Dallas to be eliminated. Edmonton at Columbus. We know who's already going to win that game. Minnesota. Go Ducks. Just saying, that's you could win one of these every now and then. And then Toronto at Calgary. We already know Calgary's going to win that game because Toronto's tanking for McDavid so hard that it's not even flaccid.
Hey, stranger things have happened. Hey, Chris, are you getting lit up for having Chinese lettering on your jersey? What's going on here? In the chat room?
I really don't know what the hell's up with this, but apparently our favorite Canucks troll, Mr. Davalos, Mr. Somanos Fuckers Canucks or whatever the fuck he's going by lately.
Oh, okay. Okay, hold on. Stay with that.
Okay, so
hold on, stick with that. Give me like 15 seconds. Hold on.
Do I need to do a twirl here or some shit or what?
Give me cat eyes. Give me. Okay. Come on. Yeah. Give it a twirl. Yeah.
The crap. Fuck you guys.
For what? Where's there stuff on your jersey besides Ryan Clough?
What else do you want?
Well, no, you just said that there were, Chinese graphics somewhere?
I don't know, this Mr. Racist, Mr. Davalos, I don't know.
Okay, so he was trying to throw shit, on your numbering. This is the knockoff. Notice the 2. Notice the difference between my 2 and the one on Chris's. This is a knockoff.
Absolutely. Yeah, that is an absolute knockoff because that's Philadelphia numerals with the 9. The 9, if you can see, go ahead and talk for a second.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead. So there you go. And
the 2, we've never had a 2 like that since the inaugural season. That is the legit.
Oh no! Wait a minute. Look at Chris's. Look at the back of Chris's.
Right. No, that's my thing. How it slants down on that 2. The Sharks haven't had that since the original jerseys. Everything else has been straightened out.
It looks like it slants down on Chris's though, on the back of his.
No, it's
Chris,
just the angle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
no, that's enough. That's quite enough. It's getting late here.
That's a legitimate jersey.
I think it's about that time. No more appeasing the knucklehead.
Okay. No, it's just no. I know mine's a straight off knockoff because a buddy of mine he bought jerseys for everybody for Christmas. He's like, dude, if you order 10 from bumfuck China, it's free shipping. And I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. I'll take a Sharks jersey, and that's what I ended up with. And I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. I don't have a black one. Sure, I'll never wear it, but why not?
I'll say this, 2 things. One, just have all the Canadian-made jerseys available for everybody to purchase. And 2, I'd rather spend $300 on an authentic Stadium Series jersey than buy 6 fake knockoffs.
Oh yeah, of course. Speaking of jerseys,
anyway,
are they wearing the Stadium version this Saturday?
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
That should be the last time that they wear the Stadium Series jersey pretty much ever against the Blackhawks. They will wear their regular teal jerseys for the season finale in Los Angeles so the Kings can wear their Stadium Series jerseys. That being said, Sharks win 2-0 over the Nashville Predators. They are still in the thick of it, but they better get going because it's getting late. They've won 4 out of their last 5. Coming up for the Sharks on Saturday, it's a special 1 p.m. start time, which has always been a little bit of an issue for them, as they take on the Chicago Blackhawks, hoping to win the series and try to get closer and closer to getting into a playoffs position. With that, for AJ Strong, Chris JWS, Gentry Alexander, and our missing brother, the Bro Dog, Brody Brazil. I guess he's kind of part of the show I'm PuckGuy14 on Twitter. Keep it real, keep it fresh, keep it real fresh.
Be sure to subscribe down below. Have a good night, everyone.